Hello students, we will entering into the unit thought. So in that unit thought, we have to discuss about the MOSFET. MOSFET is the next topic. Okay, but before entering into this MOSFET topic, just we discuss first. We learn about the things of the FET. Then we will entering into the MOSFET. Here first FET. FET means the FET meaning is nothing but it is a field effect transistor. This is the field effect transistor. Why it is a transistor, but it is affected by field. So what is this meaning? What is the meaning of this field effect transistor? Means the output current here, the output current is controlled by the input voltage, controlled by input voltage. Input voltage are, what is another name of voltage? Electric field. Electric field is known as, that's why it is in this, the simple thing, the output current. We know the output current. This current is controlled by the input voltage. Voltage means we know that the electric field. That's why it is called field effect transistor. So in order to understand this, first we know the BJT first. What is BJT? So looking at the BJT, generally BJT have 3 terminal device. It is first, it has the emitter terminal, and second is the base terminal, and third one is the collector terminal. So we already discussed about this BJT. Yes, here the collector current is known as output current. The collector current is known as output current. This current is controlled by the this current is controlled by the base current. Understand? What is this meaning here? That's why it is called, this BJT is known as current control device. Current control device. Why it is called current control device? Here the output current IC is the output current. This current is controlled by the input current. Input current is the IB. Input current is the IB. But here the field effect transistor is like this. Here we have the field effect transistor. Representation is like this. In this field effect transistor, emitter is replaced by the source and base is replaced by the gate, and collector is replaced by the drain. So here S means, so we should write here S is source and G is gate and D is drain. So these are the full forms. Okay, here the output current is nothing but ID is controlled by the input voltage. Input voltage means we have gate between voltage between the gate and source, that is VGS. That is this input voltage. Understand? So that's why here the field effect transistor FET is voltage control device. Voltage control device. Why it is called voltage control device? Here the output current. So the output current, what is the output current here? The output current is drain current. ID will be controlled by the input voltage. Input voltage is VGS. Input voltage is VGS. That's why it is the difference between BJT is current control device, it is the voltage control device. The output current ID is the output current, VGS is the input voltage. input voltage. Here IC is the output current and base current IB is the input current. So here the output current is controlled by the input current. Here the output current is controlled by the input voltage. Okay. The next difference between BJT and is, here you know that BJT is bipolar device. That means BJT is bipolar device. That means current is flowing flows through both majority charge carriers and minority charge carriers. Okay, that means electrons and holes. So P have the majority charge carriers is holes, minority charge carriers is electrons. P for N-type semiconductor have electrons is majority charge carriers, holes is minority charge carriers. So by using both it will be controlled here, but FET is unipolar device only. Unipolar device. That means current flows through only either electrons or holes. So if it consisting of the P type, it has only through holes. So it has only if it consisting N type semiconductor, it flows through only the electrons. So that's why FET is unipolar device, current flowing through either electrons or holes. This is important thing. And here there is a difference between FET and thing. Here FET have some important characteristics. The FET has some important characteristic, that is FET has high input impedance. High input impedance. It consisting of the input impedance is high. Not high, the FET has input impedance is very high, very much high. Compared with BJT, that means BJT have less input impedance. So this is important point. FET has input impedance is very high. Input impedance means ZI, we can name it as very high compared with BJT. BJT means less. It consisting of the less. And FET is more temperature stable. The next point is FET is more temperature stable. That means it has constant temperature. That means what the meaning is, the FET doesn't vary with the temperature. If the temperature changes, FET is less sensitive, but BJT is very sensitive to the temperature. When the temperature increases, automatically it will have some currents like that. And next, so in size FET is smaller than the BJT. So if you take the size, FET is very smaller compared with the BJT. BJT size is very, very high. Okay, but and the most important point is FET is lower consumption of power. It will take only less consumption of power. Lower consumption of power compare with BJT. Okay, FET it will take only less amount of power compared with BJT. BJT will take high amount of power. This is also one of the important factor for the BJT. Important factor for the FET. FET characteristics are FET is input impedance is high and it is more temperature stable. whenever temperature increases, it will be stable, no problem with that. In size, FET is smaller, compare with the small also, compare with the size also, FET is very small, and FET is lower consumption of power, it will take less amount of power compared with the BJT. Okay, and but sensitiveness, BJT are very sensitive compared with the BJT is very sensitive compare with the FET, compare with the FET. So in this, but the BJT is very advantage. If you giving the less signal, the BJT is responded immediately, but FET is not responded like that. So in this part, BJT is sensitive and FET is non-sensitive. So these are the important characteristics of the and difference between FET and the BJT. Okay, next. Here, this field effect transistor has generally two types. The field effect transistor two types. One is JFET, another one is MOSFET. What is the JFET? JFET means junction FET. J means junction FET. Okay, and we have the MOSFET here. Another name is IGBT. What is the meaning of MOSFET? MOSFET means metal oxide semiconductor, metal oxide semiconductor field effect transistor, field effect transistor. So you know that this is field effect transistor FET value, but MOS means metal oxide semiconductor. This is manufactured with the metal, and oxide means this is a silicon dioxide, and it is made with the semiconductor field effect transistor. Okay, yes. Next, in this we have, it is JFET has two types. One is N channel JFET, the another one is P channel JFET. So we have a channel here. The channel is useful for flowing the electrons, and these two types. One is N channel, that's why it is N channel JFET. Another one is P channel JFET. This is the P channel JFET. Next, here the MOSFET is, and the another name is IGFET. We can call it as IG also. In this IGFET, IG is known as insulated gate field effect transistor. Insulated gate field effect transistor. Field effect transistor. This is also the thing, IGBT. And this MOSFET, we have different types of IGBTs. In this IGBTs, MOSFET is one of the important thing. Here the MOSFET is two types. One is depletion MOSFET, another one is the enhancement MOSFET. Here depletion MOSFET again having the channels, that is one is N channel MOSFET, D MOSFET, depletion MOSFET. Second one is P channel depletion MOSFET. This enhancement MOSFET is two types. One is N channel E MOSFET and another one is the P channel E MOSFET. Okay, these are the different types of classifications. So in our syllabus for FET, he is asked to study about only the MOSFET, not for the JFET. That's why in the next class onward we will discuss about the MOSFET. Okay, in this MOSFET we have depletion MOSFET and enhancement MOSFET, and N channel D MOSFET, P channel D MOSFET is there. So N channel E MOSFET and P channel E MOSFET. These all types of MOSFETs will be discussed. Then we will understand what happened in the FETs. Okay, this is about the introduction of the field effect transistors. Okay, there's only the difference here: emitter replaced by source, base replaced by gate, collector replaced by drain. Okay, here the current, output current is controlled by input current. Here difference, Here the output current is controlled by input voltage. Okay, this is the introduction of the field effect transistor. Okay.